The following story I heard weeks ago from Rabbi David Ozeri. A truly inspiring story that mamash blew my mind. He said he walks out of a bagel store, I believe it was, and comes running after him a certain congregant of his, a friend of his. He said, Rabbi, I must tell you the following story. He said, I have to go. You must hear the story. You won't believe what happened. What happened? He says, I go to visit my mother on Wednesdays, and she's elderly, she's sick, and that's the day I go to visit her. But I'm a working man, and I was very, very tired. It was at the end of the day one week, and at the end of the day I came home, and I said, I can't. I'm exhausted, I'm shaking, I'm in pieces, I can't visit. I'm sure my mother will understand. And he goes to lay down. While he's laying down, he tells the rabbi, while I'm laying down, I think to myself, okay, so I'm tired, but why should my mother lose out? I put myself together. I said, I must visit my mother. She's waiting for me. So I take the keys, I get to the car, and I start driving. And while I'm driving, I made a U-turn, illegal. I was just doing my thing to try to get there my way, I guess, to call it. And a cop pulls me over. I said to him, Bono shel olam, a cop pulls me over. I'm going to visit my mother. He couldn't believe it. The cop asks him this, that, bunch of questions, and smacks him with tickets. He couldn't believe himself. It was like 4 bunch of tickets. He was very, very bothered. He was furious. Some people, these type of things, mamash, destroy their mood entirely. So he goes back into the car after the ticket. He starts the car, and on his way he says, you know what, I'm so angry, I'm so burned, I'm just going to go home. He turns his car to go home. While he's driving home, again he thinks to himself, okay, so I got a ticket, I made a U-turn, I did something wrong. Why should my mother lose out? She thinks I'm going to visit her, she's an elderly woman. So he says, again, he goes out of his way, I'm going to visit my mother. He put himself together somewhat. He gets to his mother's house. He's still all ripped up about the ticket, all those tickets. And he gets on the porch, and while he's on the porch, he couldn't even open the door yet because he was just so frustrated. He didn't want his mother to see it. So he did it to cool off a little bit longer. So he's sitting on the porch a little bit, he gets himself together. He knocks on the door. The mother opens up the door. Oh, I'm waiting for you. So nice to see you. They had a beautiful time. They had a cup of tea together. She really, really enjoyed him being there. He gets back in the car afterwards. Okay, bye, mommy. Hug and kiss. He goes back in the car. And he goes back home. Okay. Weeks passed. He gets a phone call. Answers the phone. Who is this? The FBI. FBI? How can I help you? We have a serious situation, and you need to come down to the precinct immediately. And if you don't come down here fast, it could cost you a tremendous amount of time in jail. If you know it's good for you, come here immediately. Shaking. He gets to the police station. He asks for the person, and he sees the FBI over there with 2 people waiting for him. One of those 2 people was a guy that he fired. And that guy, let's call him Ruvain, went to the FBI with the claim and seemingly proof, because people sometimes will text each other strong words during conflict, that the guy that went to visit his mother, whatever his name was, but the one that went to visit his mother, wanted to kill the man that he fired. That was the claim. And he has proof. He brought the witness, let's call him Shimon. Reuben that was fired brought Shimon saying that Shimon was a witness that my boss over there, says Reuben, wanted to kill me. And it's so real that they're about to put him in jail because attempted murder is a very serious thing. His life is turning on him immediately. He doesn't know what to do with himself. He knows he didn't want to kill him. Something was taken out of proportion, context, and here they're going to put him in jail. He doesn't know what to do with himself. He says, if you can't save yourself and have a good proof, you're going to jail. Your court case is so-and-so and so-and-so date. Okay, comes the court case. He sits in the court. The judge tells him, we have solid proof. At this time, this place, attempted murder, everything is beautiful, fantastic, proof against you. He doesn't know what to do himself. Can you prove yourself out of this or not? He gets up and he says, yes, I can. He says, how can you prove yourself out of this? What proof do you have? What testimony, what witnesses do you have? He says, I have the police department to prove that I'm right. The police department to prove that you're right, that you were not this. There's a witness that says you were here at this time, this place. He says, well, I have testimony from the police department. He pulls out his ticket that he got weeks ago. He says, that time, that place that your so-called witness, let's call him Shimon, says that I was attempted murder in my part is false. Because at that time, that place, I was actually receiving a ticket from a police officer. Look at the time, look at the date, look at the place. Your testimony, your NYPD, you guys, I would imagine that's probably some sort of a good proof. They couldn't believe it. They look at the Shimon guy. They said, what a liar. You try to put a guy in jail like that? They took that Shimon, probably Reuven also, and they put them in jail. And this guy left the court understanding. At the time when he went to visit his mother, he thought to himself that, oh my goodness, I got a ticket, I can't believe it. Why did I go? It's a bracha. You go, he visited his mother, he did a mitzvah, and you think something bad happened. In fact, what you think bad happened ultimately was such a savior to him. It saved him from jail. Unbelievable. From here you see, you have to have emunah shlema. That if you follow the halakha, no matter what obstacle comes your way, it's not an obstacle. It's always a matana.